The must-pull Propstream leads for massive success in wholesaling real estate. What's up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I break down the must-pull lists for success this year in Propstream and with wholesaling real estate. Before we get into it, guys, remember, you need to smash that like button and subscribe, get the most true value from me, and let's get in the video. So we're using listrei.com. That is what we're using. And let's get into it, guys. Propstream, aka listrei.com. Let's start pulling it now. Without further ado, let's go into my top 7 lists. I'm jacked up for this one. We are going to go in no particular order of importance from rank, but this is just where it's at. So number 1, let's do some more, how do I call it, saturated lists. I don't know the best way to describe it, but a saturated list that everyone uses, but this is tried and true. This one hasn't changed for the past year, and it's still been an amazing list. We use it for a lot of our bigger cold calling and SMS text blasting. It's absolutely amazing. This is what I'm going to tell you right now. It is vacant high equity. I truly believe vacant high equity it's still, everyone says it's a saturated list, but of course, if I cold pull this list in like San Diego, it's not going to do too well. But if I start pulling it in markets and places that, not too crazy, give some like Richmond, Virginia, Louisville, Kentucky, there's some very tinier like markets out there that are really good that aren't really talked about. I'm not going to talk about some of the secret ones that I'm sort of using for my own virtual wholesaling, but they're pretty good. And vacant high equity is definitely a really good one to go out there. So that's definitely the first one we're going to talk about is vacant high equity. And let me go in here and show you exactly how to pull that list. Now, I need someone's help. I need someone to comment below what market they're in, and I'll go pull the vacant high equity in that market, kind of show you how I sort of come up with the right numbers to pull from there and really see what I can do. So guys, I see everyone commenting right now. Let's go in there. Let me know what market you guys are in, and I'll start pulling lists in that market. So let's just paste in here, Warren County, Tennessee. And we're just going to clear all real quick, make sure I got no cookies or anything in here. And we are in Warren County, Tennessee. So I got Warren County here. Let's sort of see generally where we're at. It's kind of weird outside of Tennessee, outside of Nashville, kind of in this in between place. Seems like a really good market for wholesaling real estate. So let's make this actually a little bigger here, just so it's a little easier. So I'm kind of in the corner here and pull the vacant high equity list. So I'm in here right now, and let's start going after it and see what I can do to find this list. So let's see if I get rid of this. Let's see if this is in the way. Yeah, it's in the way. So let's go here and find the vacant high equity list. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to filters, which I'm hopping on just in case someone needs a visualizer here about what I got to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm in Warren County. So how do I find the vacant high equity one? So a lot of people, when they're starting out pulling this information, they either do one or two things. One thing I've seen is they just click the vacants on here. So I'll just click that, and that's great. I mean, there's 725 vacants. That's cool, but that's not where we're going after. We're trying to go after vacant high equity. So I'm going to go to filter here, and quick list does help. But really all you really got to do is just click here to vacant, and that's going to bring us 725. So, I mean, that does help, but property characteristics. So yes, it's pretty good. I am a huge fan of actually going over there and, doing the vacant high equity and just, vacant, make sure it's 60% equity and from there. But there's specifics in here that I think are really important. So let me take this one off so it's just easier for you guys to see me. And what we're going to do is do the specifics in here for vacant high equity, which I really like. So we're going to go here and we're going to go to property classifications. Really, we're in this area. We're going to go over to cheaper properties. So I'm going to do residential, property type. I'm going to keep it single family. I'll add some multifamily in there if you want. I know some people do well with multifamily, so we're going to do that. We're going to do a lot of other things. HOA, I don't really want to exclude that. I'm going to go MLS status here. Here's an issue with everyone that pulls the regular vacant property one is they will literally, they don't care about the MLS, or they don't really know about it. And that is a big issue. And it's not good to do. So you definitely want to be out here making sure the properties are not on the market. So I'm going to click no here. It's going to help a lot. Pre-foreclosure, bank owned. We don't really care about this for this specific list. We're going to go to ownership info. So right now, currently, we are at, what are we, 478 properties. We actually have to make it a little smaller than this. I mean, the county's pretty small, so I don't really blame anyone here. Years of ownership. Since this list is already so small, I'm going to put at least 2 years. Usually for a list of like 20, 30,000, I'll probably put 3 to 5, probably 3, honestly. But since this list is so tiny, it's a little baby list, honestly. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to keep it pretty static where we're at right now. And so the next part here is ownership info. And we got to do some research really quick. We're going to go to Warren County, Tennessee, and we're going to see what the median price point of it is. So median sales price. And Zillow gives us this information. I know everyone loves to say, Zillow is like it's the hated person because they're trying to flip properties, right? They're the enemy. They're not really the enemy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But the one thing I tell you is we got to find the median price point for the area. And I'm not a native to Warren County. I don't know it. So I'm going to use some data and actually pull it up. So Zillow here is actually really good for it. And basically we go here. So Warren County, the average Zillow home value is $145,000. That's nothing. Yeah, that ain't too shabby. It's pretty cheap. But this is why I love Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee is one of the best wholesaling markets virtually for me, is because they're just so cheap. A lot of these properties, and I absolutely love it. So Warren County is pretty good. I'm a big fan of that. So we want to keep it below 200, I would say, when we're really trying to pull these lists. Of course, that's a lot higher than the home value median. But remember, like if the median is like 400, we want to keep it below 400, 450, 500. Anything above 250 is going to be harder. It just depends. So that's the average 145. So we want to really be in that range. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to go to owner type. I'm going to do individual, trust and mix, get rid of commercial. And then from there, I'm going to go to lien, bankruptcy, divorce status, doesn't really matter. Valuation, estimated value, I want to max it out at 250. Okay. And at minimum, I want to be at least 15K. I don't want to deal with any vacant land on this list. Growth, I don't really mind. If you can see here in that county, growth was around, oops, I think I'm sharing my screen. I don't think growth is like 8%, which is really low. I mean, I think my county is like 20+%. So it is absolutely nuts. I'm going to show my county, for example. I mean, my county's up, what? Year over year for Zillow is 22.9%. Okay. So that just shows the difference on property values around the country. Just kind of crazy to think. So 15 to 20 is sort of what we're going out here. And the next here is equity. I want to make sure everyone can see equity on there. Yeah, you guys can. Equity is a really important factor here. It's definitely one of the most important ones. And what I'm going to do here is literally in equity here, I want to make it at least 55 to 60. I'm going to do 60% since you're doing high equity here. And that's really it. I mean, we'll make this, see if I'm missing anything here. Not really. I'm not really missing anything there. And then that's basically it. And then we kind of go back here to filters. Let's go back here. And we're about 259 properties. It's not bad. And then mortgage info, we don't really care about mortgage info too much on this. We're not doing any crazy creative financing. So that's a list of about 259. That's a very, very, very small list. And all we're going to do is just pull that list. That's a tiny list. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys, but it's still a great list to be pulling and definitely something I would recommend. So that's actually we pull it. Again, that was a little slow how I pulled that one. The next one's going to be a lot quicker to do. Guys, comment below what market you guys want to be pulling the pre-foreclosures, because that's number 2 here is pre-foreclosures. And pre-foreclosures is an absolutely amazing list to be going after right now. A lot of people are behind their payments from everything that's happened in the past couple of years, and it's definitely one that's starting to gain steam. And a lot of people are getting back into SMS text blasting these lists, cold calling them. I see a lot of people door knocking these lists, reverse driving for dollars. It's a great list to be going after for wholesaling real estate, and one I can definitely start recommending today. So, what I would say is pre-foreclosure is amazing. And I was going to a bigger market. We got San Antonio up here. Uh, San Antonio is great. I love that market. So, we're going to be pulling the pre-foreclosures in San Antonio. So, let's go back into Propstream here and get back into the nitty gritty of it. So, we're going to do San Antonio, and we're going to be going after pre-foreclosures. So, what I'm going to do here is clear the list. We're going to do San Antonio. Let's do San Antonio's county. Make it a little easier. County. Bexar County. Okay. So we're going to do Bexar. Boom. All right. So 652,405. Wow. That's woo. That's a big one. Not gonna lie. That's a wow. Behar is how you whatever. Okay. I don't speak Spanish. Everyone knows that. But yes, okay. So Behar is the way you do it. So what we're gonna do here is do the pre-foreclosures. Pre-foreclosures, I mean, I can just go here to status and just click pre-foreclosures in there and just go notice of default, list pendants, all that fun jazz. But for this one, the quick list is actually easier on it. So right here, it says there's 248 pre-foreclosures with auction dates on it. So that's pretty interesting. And that's not really too big. So what we're going to do is just filter that a little more on here. And there's usually not a ton of pre-foreclosures. Pretty small enough to door knock or potentially cold call. Pre-foreclosure a little harder for cold calling, but it's not the end of the world. So it's not too bad. And it's definitely one I would definitely still recommend. It's just a lot smaller list. Some counties are harder to giving out pre-foreclosure information. A lot of title companies you can go out there and find pre-foreclosures. It's definitely not the hardest list to get. It's actually probably even one of the easiest ones. So Propstream's still really good at it, and it's good. There's some good combos on there too. So really all we got to go here is make sure it's a residential property. And we'll do some multifamily if you want in here. MLS status, not on the market. We can also get some very interesting. We do auction dates, exclude bank owned or exclude foreclosures. I like to get as much info because if we're like door knocking this list, I want all of it. Year of ownership doesn't really matter. And San Antonio, find the median price point here. Median price. Zillow. No, we're roughly about 235 on that for San Antonio. So we'll keep it we'll max it up at 260. And I think that's a pretty good one to go after. So 260. And equity for pre-foreclosures, I actually don't care about equity. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy for saying that, but pre-foreclosures, equity does not matter to me because, oops, click this. The reason why I honestly don't care about equity, because if there's a low equity deal, I'll just, I can do a subject to on that one. A lot of creative financing on that one. So it's definitely a great list to be going after. And definitely something I would be recommending right now. So that's how you do pre-foreclosures. Not really that hard of a list to do. It's definitely a great one to be going after and definitely one I'd be recommending right now. So this comes back to the third one, which very, very similar, I would say. It's not the exact same list, but it's definitely something that's worth looking into. And this is actually a list I've been pulling, but I didn't even know the name of it. I'm going to be honest. I completely didn't. I've been using Propstream for a while. I didn't even know Propstream had this list. They had a cute little marketing name on it. And I didn't know. So what I used to be going after is I used to go after pre-foreclosures and they were good. I did a lot of door knocking on it, and I was like, I don't like the door knocking too much. How can I go after pre-foreclosures that I could cold call or do really good with SMS? And where not a lot of people know about the pre-foreclosure, it's like a pre-foreclosure and then add an extra layer of motivation on there. What's a really good one? And here's what I found is pre-foreclosures, but you add vacants on them. So vacant pre-foreclosures are absolutely amazing. And I've been pulling that list, and someone else said, Zach, do you like this XY's list? I'm like, no, I've never pulled that list before. I probably wouldn't recommend that. I got to look into it. And then I looked into it the other day. I'm like, I pull that list all the time. So I do pull the zombie property list. This is kind of weird. I had no idea what I thought the zombie property list was vacants that was owned for more than 10 years. That's what I thought it was. I believe I was talking to someone about Propstream. They told me that. So maybe Propstream the last 4 or 5 years changed it. I don't know. But that's what I thought. And that's kind of nutty. But yeah, so technically as of today, I confirmed with Propstream the zombie property list. So the zombie property list will be number 3. Guys, it's spooky season. So y'all know we're gonna be popping this list off and going hard on it. So these are pre-foreclosures that are vacant. These are people that are behind on payments and they don't even live in the property, or nobody lives on the property at all. They're just sitting there vacant. Especially in Florida, it's an amazing list to be going after, and one you can really help your sellers out. So the zombie property list is definitely an A1 list, definitely a list I'd be going after. And guys, what market should I go after the zombie property list? And let's see what we got. So zombie properties, it's a fun one, man. I actually didn't know about that list too much. So it's definitely a fun one to be going after. So it's interesting. That's the least I could say is it's a very interesting list to be going after. So let's see what market guys will do on the zombie property list. So Andreas is Arizona. You gotta be more specific than that. All right, Phoenix. We'll do Maricopa County. I mean, it's probably one of those saturated lists on there, but we'll be doing that. So let's go back into Propstream here and let's see what list we can be going after for these zombie properties. So that's pretty cool. Like Tampa, there's a lot more pre-foreclosures out there. So we're going to go here to zombie Actually, let's clear all. Do Tampa, filter. We're going to go to quick list here, zombies. And we're about 72 zombie properties right here, which is amazing. I mean, I'll just click one of these right here and just kind of look at the pictures. Pictures coming soon. All right. So zombie properties is an interesting one. We got one like here. Probably just sitting there vacant. It's probably on the market a while ago, but it's been vacant for about 4 years in a trust. And the guy's behind on payments. So it seems like a great property to be going after. That's why I really like these zombie properties. So absolutely amazing list to be going after. So zombie properties. So we're just going to filter out a little more here. Property characteristics. We're going to keep it residential now. Let's go here. Single family. Okay, pretty good on that side. MLS. Not on the market. Pre-foreclosure bank owned. We don't really care about too much on that. We don't want it to be bank owned, but we can kind of sort through there a little more. Years of ownership doesn't matter, especially on a zombie property. So we're not going to care too much. We can do individual and then the camera. I got this thick camera in front of me. So this camera is almost as big as the monitor. I swear. Holy moly. Okay. So we're going to go here and we're going to change this over. Lien bankruptcy status. Not really too big on the liens here right now, but we can do a bunch of others. So again, estimated value, we're going to just max it out at 400. Yeah, I would do 400. I think that's fine. And then about 15 on here. And equity doesn't really matter again. So now we're at 21 zombie properties. And if I had a door knock, I mean, this would not be a good door knocking list because no one's going to live in it. But if I had door knock pre-foreclosures, it'd be good ones to do, obviously, but no one would be home there. So definitely a good cold calling list, I would tell you. It's a pretty good one. But Yeah, if you are in like Maricopa trying to get this list, I would go after and pull the pre-foreclosures from your title company, and then look for the vacants, because the vacants they pull pretty good in Maricopa County. So be a pretty good one to be going after here too. That's how you do that one. So let's clear out a Propstream here, and let's go to number 4, which is the water shutoff list. And that's the utility tax lien I just showed you right there. So let me pop it up really quick again. Uh, so remember, guys, we're in here. We're in Tampa. We're going to filter everything out the best we can. So we're just going to make sure this is a residential property, a single family. And the water shut off is, remember, if someone's water shut off on their property, probably not a good property to be living in, or, you can't even have a tenant or anyone in there. And the property is just going to, I don't know, rot, I would say. It's just definitely not the best list to be going after. I mean, not the best type of property to be living in. And a lot of people are like, well, why would I go after these properties? They seem disgusting. Well, they're great wholesaling opportunities. People will be willing to sell equity in the property for the speed and convenience of a cash sale. That's kind of what we do in wholesaling real estate. So water shutoffs are definitely a great one to be going after. It's definitely one I would definitely recommend. So this would be something guys should be going after. So the water shutoff list is absolutely an amazing list. So let's get back into here. And the water shutoff list. So there's no quick list here that says like water shutoffs. No. So I'll really go here to MLS status, make sure it is not on the market. Next here, pre-foreclosure, we don't care about that. Ownership info, individual, mixed, and then trusts. Those are always really good ones. Length of ownership doesn't matter. Once the water shut off, we got to make sure, guys, quick tip with water shutoffs. You want to make sure that the water, utility department is actually shutting water off in the county. Some places aren't. I know, for example, like in California, I believe some outskirts of New York City, they're actually not shutting water off at all right now due to special emergency orders. But Florida, they don't really care. You don't pay for the water. They're just going to shut it off. So definitely go after a list that you can, or they are shutting off water. You just call and ask, and they'll basically tell you. So definitely a great list to be going after. So let's go back in here and start pulling it. So basically go over here, and we're going to go to lien bankruptcy status. We can actually go over here to lien, and we're going to click here utility lien. And that's definitely when we go back to these people that are not paying their utility bill, and their water or electric is going to be shut off. And it's the best we can do with Propstream, and it's definitely one you can definitely get at scale. So it's an amazing list, and there's 39 of these. I wouldn't want to filter it even at all, even more. These are really good lists. I don't think a lot of people will be living in them. We got sanitation charges. It's definitely really interesting to go after the lien type here. So like Bald Eagle Street. Lien details. This one would be, is it unpaid water charges? So right here, sanitation, unpaid water charges. The water's going to be shut off. So it's definitely a great list to be going after, and definitely not, definitely not one no one's really going after it. Remember, creditor is the public utilities department. Guys, it's an amazing one. Definitely going after. They have another one. They don't have an amount on there, which is maybe not the end of the world, but definitely a good one to be going after. This guy's linked to 2 properties, so it could be a really good one. This person owns this one for 15 years, a townhouse, single family. So definitely a really good list to be going after. Maybe they want to sell 2 properties. So it's definitely one I would 100% be going after right now. And it's definitely a great one. So definitely the water shutoff list. Really, the price point's not really mattering too much on that one. So it's definitely still a great one. Now, let's go with the number 5 here. And really, it's kind of between this list I was choosing or the other types of liens, the IRS debt lien list. One thing I can tell you right now is between these lists, I had to think of kind of for 2022, maybe take a little risk trying to show you guys this, because what's going to be better? What if I had to make a bet, what's going to be better? This list, if I went after it right now and in the future, or the other type of list, which would be the debt list, the IRS tax lien list. And really, IRS liens won't be coming out probably till they get late payments, potentially July and August of 2022. So it's kind of late in the game, if you want to be going after this list, especially people watching this video now. So the IRS debt lien list is going to be worse year over year. And for the IRS to put a lien out, they're going to wait a couple months after tax day. And I just have a guess with the current presidential administration, they'll probably extend tax day a little more also. So maybe, people aren't even getting their IRS debt, their IRS liens out, even like right now, they're starting to get the first ones out for people who are not even paying their taxes. So definitely had to make a bet. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer till the IRS debt lien list is like an insanely amazing. Like, guys, go after that list right now. But right now and for the next 6 months, what's going to be a better list? And this is definitely a better one because this is one that where the courts are actually working on to be a great one. These are tired landlords, and people finally get evicted in a lot more states right now than they're just being released now. So this is going to be definitely a better list to be going after. So this is going to be the tired landlords that are older. Really, really great list to be going after, and definitely one I'd be recommending right now. So that's what I could tell you right now because I had to make a bet here, and I feel like there's going to be a bigger wave of evictions and people not paying, and with the increase of property values, a lot of tenants aren't going to be able to afford the new leases, and they might be out of it. And it's definitely one that I'd be recommending. So, tired landlords is a great one that are older. Definitely want to be going after. And let's break down actually how to pull it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna go here into Propstream, aka listrei.com. And guys, what market should I be pulling this list from? Let me know. Comment below what market I should be going. First comment wins here. So we'll see which one we go after here and see which one to be pulling. So let's. All right, we got some people on here. Also, guys, while I'm waiting for someone, all right, we got Greenville, South Carolina. All right, we're going after here. Bob was second, so sorry, Bob. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna go to tired landlord list. So let's see what we got here. Basically, with the tired landlord list, we're going to be in Greenville. So Greenville, make sure you guys can see me. All right. And I'll get 88,000. That's a pretty good one. So basically, all you got to go here is there's a ton right here. You can go after flippers, failed listings, senior owners, or tired landlords. Tired landlords right here. So it's definitely a great list to be going after. And there's about 16,000 tired landlords going after. So that's actually pulled the list from there. It's definitely a great one to be going after. But technically, what is a tired landlord? Usually, it's when they're senior owners and they own a property, they don't want to deal with it. A lot of these are senior owners on the tired landlord. Not every single one's going to be a senior owner, but people have owned a property for a while that are landlords. This is definitely going to be going after. You can go by age, but really there's tired landlords that are a little older too. They're like in their late 30s and early 40s. So definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach to it. So that's the tired landlord list. So if we're going to be in Greenville, South Carolina, it's actually a market I know pretty well. Done some deals there. So price. So I just searched Greenville, South Carolina, Zillow median price. This is what pops up. So let me share my screen here and show you what I got here. Pops up here is about $251,000. So that's pretty good. The appreciation's kind of insane. 14% for South Carolina is almost unheard of, but hey, that's what they're paying right now, and that's what's going on there. So definitely still a great one to be going after, and definitely one I'd still be recommending right here. So, all right, and so we know 251 kind of the medium price point there to be going after. So let's share the screen and sort of see what we got here. Now we're at the tired landlords. So let me clear all real quick. Just do it from the top. Filter quick list, tired landlords, about 16,000. So this is where I make my money when I'm pulling these lists. How do I go from 16,000 let's say you're doing a cold calling list, like, oh my gosh, how do I cold call 16,000? That's a lot. All right, let's slim this list down to something where it's going to be even more motivation and it's the best bang for our buck. If we're SMS text blasting with like smszach.com or cold calling maybe with like zachdialer.com, how do I make this the best for us? And of course, we're using listrei.com, listrei.com. Be pulling Propstream here for a free trial, but I can tell you right now, it is definitely a great list to be going after, and definitely one I would be recommending. So listrei.com, guys, that's definitely the one you go after. So filtering back here, we are going to not really deal with any of this stuff. Owner occupied, you can be going after that. So again, there's two ways to do it if you want an older one. So you're at 16,000. That's pretty good. We can also do a quick list here and go after senior owners. And senior owners for South Carolina is really not going to be popping up. So we're just going to tired landlords here. Oops. There we go, 3,000. So seniors probably going to be a lot older. So I don't want to be going after seniors. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like right. So tired landlords, guys, because a lot of tired landlords could be 50 and they're not seniors. So definitely I would keep it at that. So we're going here to filter some more property characteristics. We're going to keep it at residential. Do some multifamily since it will be landlords. And we don't really care about too much on the other stuff. MLS, make sure it's not on the market. Ownership info, we'll make sure they owned it for at least 5 years for a tired landlord. But really, with this crazy state of things, I would put at least 3 years on it. So, and even if you want to push it more, you do 2. So I'll do 2 here because I'm trying to push the list and bring it up. So individual, I'll put it in mixed and trusts. And then lien, divorce, bankruptcy status. We don't really care about too much for their valuation. We want to estimate it 300 and below. I'll just do a standard 10 on this one. Equity, I want at least 55% equity. And that should be it. Let's see what we got. So I whittled that list down from 16,000 to a very motivated and pretty good list of about 1,000, about 1,100, I would say. A pretty good list, I would say. So about 1,093 potential properties. Of course, I can whittle that down even more. But these are definitely going to be really good lists to be going after. A lot of people are going to be sick and tired, just want to sell the property. So this is definitely one I'd be going after and definitely something I'd be recommending right now. So a great list to be going after. Definitely one you guys should be just looking at and attacking. And I could see you have a lot of great results in this, especially now. So definitely a great list to be going after. So that is number 6 here. That is the tired landlord list. And next here, we are going to be going after and pre-probates. I love pre-probates, guys. Pre-probates are one of my favorite lists to be going after, and it's absolutely a killer list to be doing. So pre-probates are great. You know, probates are awesome, but what if you want to get in front of probates before the probate even happens? And this is why I love pre-probates. Live video, guys, you could tell. That's why I love pre-probates so much. And pre-probates, how do they pull pre-probates? Oh my gosh, it's definitely a tongue twister for me. I don't know why, but pre-probates basically is how you can pull a probate without actually pulling it from the courthouse and get it done pretty early. How do you do this, guys? Basically, what Propstream does is they go after the obituary and public death records and saw that, John Stanley here of, Wichita, Kansas, passed away. And looks like a John Stanley owns this property here in Kansas. And it's only John B. Stanley out there. And we can match those records and be like, well, this person owned a property, died, and the property is just here. It's not in probate, but it's before probate. Pre-probate, definitely be a property I think about going after, right? So that's where the birth of doing a pre-probate is. It's definitely a great one to be going after. So pre-probate's definitely an amazing list and definitely something I would be recommending right now. So that's what a pre-probate is. We're going to show you how to pull the pre-probate list, how do I market to a pre-probate? And you want to be using a service for skip tracing where you get relatives information. There's so many services out there that do it. Lead Sherpa is a really good one. Batch used to, and I'm trying to work with Batch, see if we can do that again. Actually get relatives information from there. Just look at before you do a skip tracing for I think a lot of skip tracing sites are great, but I would just ask the skip tracing site if you're going to be doing pre-probate. So you guys do relative information. They say no, hey, go to the next one and go after Skip Genie's pretty good, but they're a little more expensive. But guys, before you go pull it, because I haven't used Skip Genie in a while, I have my certain ones for relatives, and sometimes I got to use a TLO connection, wink, wink, to go out there, or there's some other ones. That's all I could say. But ask your skip trace provider if they will go after relatives for you. And if they do relatives also, it's a great one to be going after. So pre-probate's definitely a great one to go out. So you want to pull the skip trace, unfortunately, the deceased person, and find the relatives on there, cold call them, SMS text blast them. It's a great one to be going after. Use the script, hey, are you the owner of 123 Main Street? Are you interested in selling the property? Then from there, you go in the 4 pillars of wholesaling. Motivation, why they're looking to sell the property. Condition, how's the property look? How's the roof, AC, flooring, kitchen, any updates? Septic tank. Next year's time frame. When are they looking to sell? They're looking to sell within a year, 6 months, 2 months, a week. When are they really looking to sell? And then lastly is price. What price they need to sell the property for? So that's pre-probate. So let's go over here and let's start pulling the pre-probate list. So definitely a great list to be going after, and definitely one I would recommend. So we got Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York. So Steven out here is from New York. So he wants to do Buffalo. So I will do Buffalo. Let's see what county Buffalo's in. The one thing about probates, I don't really care about the price of them. So because I do a lot of I've done probates on like a $700,000-$800,000 house. So definitely something I'd be going after. So let's do Erie County. That's where Buffalo is. Just clear the list out and then do Erie County. Oops, clear list, Erie County. 372,739. Whoa. Okay. So definitely a huge market to be going after. So holy moly. All right. So it's a big one. So what we're going to do, guys, all you got to do is go to filter here, quick list choice, pre-probate, aka deceased owners. And we got 3,986. Whoa, right? So that's a lot of pre-probate. That's a lot of deceased owners. So how are we going to whittle this list down? So to the median price point. Zillow. $234. A year over year change is about 22%. So let's pop that up on the screen here, kind of showing you where I'm going at here, what I'm sort of seeing, and go from there. So 234, that's about a 22.4 1-year change, which is insane, honestly. So Rochester's over there. So that's Buffalo, New York. So woo, it's pretty big. And geez, that's a big one. So what I would say right now is, especially for Erie County, we got here about 4,000. So let's see here. Okay, so for pre-probates here, we're going to filter this out a little more. So we're just going to go after, I don't really care what type of property, if it's a deceased. So residential. And I'm going to add vacant land on top of that too. Next year's MLS, make sure it's not on the market. Ownership, don't really care too much about the ownership. Lien status, not really importance to me. Make sure it is, let's say 800, under 800, sure it's at least worth 10,000. In equity, I don't care because I do creative financing. That brings us to like 3,600, which is sort of insane on there. So Charles Pazinski, deceased here. So unfortunately, it's a big list to be going after, but definitely a really good list to just be seeing. So definitely whittle down a little more if you want, but that's pre-probates and definitely a list I would definitely look into. Some lists are bigger than others, but definitely one I would be calling and seeing, and then potentially be a lot of motivation for that list. So definitely a great list to be going after. So next here is that's the last motivated seller list, and this is a list I always got to put one in here because I think everyone uses Propstream, aka listrei.com, for a myriad of reasons, for finding motivated sellers, comping properties, finding ARV, drawing for dollars. I mean, there could be a million ways to be using listrei.com, but one way I definitely recommend with Propstream is finding cash buyers. And the last list I can show you here, this is number 7, is finding cash buyers the right way on Propstream. And definitely one I would be telling you. So that is the flippers, or AKA the cash buyers tab. Definitely one I'd be recommending right now. Definitely one you should be going after, and definitely one you should be adding on to your arsenal when it comes to using Propstream for your wholesaling real estate business. So all we really got to do here, go to filter here, and all we really got to do is you go by cash buyers. That's kind of the big one of all cash sales. That's kind of a tougher one to do. What was the 6th list? 6th list was pre-probates. So definitely a decent list to be going after, I would say. So what are we doing here? Filters. You can go by cash buyers and just make sure that these people bought residential properties. Let's say I'm looking for a vacant land. I would click vacant land right here. Oh, shoot. Let's restart that. Clear all, Cabarrus County. Filter. Go over here to cash buyers. And we want to specifically, we got about 13,000 on there. So what I want to do is go here and filter out here. Property characteristics. I want to make sure they bought residential properties. Now, if you're looking for cash buyers for vacant land, let me go over here. For vacant land, you just want to be going and clicking. Oh my gosh, I'm on the way. You want to click here on vacant land too, if you're going to be doing that too. So definitely be one I would be recommending on there if you want to do it. So let's get back in the picture here. So right here, and let's keep going after this list. You can go after MLS stats. They bought on the MLS. I don't really care about that ownership. I don't really care about valuation. Doesn't really matter to me. So this is all your cash buyers. So let's just click a random one for you. Here's a random cash buyer on here. True North borrower, North Carolina. That's their place right there. You can definitely skip trace that. Let's see where this skip tracing goes to. If I just search this person. Honeycutt is just a property. So they put it in there. So True North borrower, North Carolina LLC. So I searched that LLC. Let's see what we got here. So if I search that and I go to public trust on there, what will happen if I just search that LLC is it'll pop up this website company. I'm on bizapedia.com and it will just pop up this email address, Progress Residential. So let's look up Progress Residential. This seems like it's a hedge fund. So copy here, and this would be an interesting way to find a hedge fund cash buyer. So Progress Residential. Let's see here. Bizapedia is a great website to do. Pop it up. So Progress Residential. Payment plans, handpicked rentals, no breed restrictions. Miami, yeah, this looks like a hedge fund. Yeah, they own all this. So this is a huge hedge fund. Yeah, wow. Okay, so we'll go to About Us here. Of high quality single family homes, 70,000 across 29 areas. Wow. Okay, so what we're going to do here is this is definitely one I'd be going after. and ask them if they want to buy more properties. So, oh shoot, I didn't show you. Let me go to the website. So yeah, look at this. This is Progress Residential. I own 70,000 properties. So I'd be contacting this area and that address, find their phone number, call them. That is how you find that's a hedge fund buyer. So that's a great one. So definitely that's a good one. So that's how you find a cash buyer there. And I just go from there. You just got to search some of these websites and places. Next person says they need help with Crossville, Tennessee. So we're just going to do that same one, except we're going to do Crossville. We're going to have the same filtering on here. And we go about, let's clear it all out. Filter. Cash sales. Residential. Got about 5,000 on there. So that's a lot. That's a big list. So definitely go after, like, let's just take this one real quick. Harley D. Waldo bought this property for cash. 95 grand. From Charlie here. Is this a individual? It's an occupied property. They've owned it for 7 months. So definitely somebody I'd be calling in. Of course, my thing's not sharing. So hold on. Share. And let's start from the beginning here. So clear all. Crossville, Tennessee. Filter. Cash sales. So let's actually go by flippers. You can do the flippers tab here too. Definitely a good one. So I went here, quick list, and went to flippers. It's way smaller. It's definitely a great one. So we can see here, like that Hillcrest I was talking about. Harley D. Waldo and Linda J. Waldo bought this thing for 95 grand. And in March, and on the MLS for 229,000. And it seems like they put a bunch of money into the house. So they put a ton into it. They flipped this house. Looks all sexy. Looks all great, right? So definitely a good market spread on this one. So I'd definitely be going after. Looks like they just flipped this house. So great. Harley and Linda Waldo. That's definitely want to be going after. That's how do you find a cash buyer from there. But that's it, guys. That is how you find cash buyers, flippers on there. She says, thank you. I appreciate it. But that's how you go after there and find those type of people. I mean, it's not that complicated. I truly believe Propstream is definitely one of the best ones to be going after. Definitely an amazing list. So that's how I found those. So that's my top 7 lists. Thank you so much for watching that video today. If you want more free value for wholesaling real estate, remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Guys, if you want to join the best wholesaling real estate mentorship in the planet and join the wholesaling course that has the most people in it in the history of the world for wholesaling real estate, go to freewholesaling.com. It's free. There's no gimmicks. There's no upsells in this course. It is an absolute free wholesaling course. I've been told to charge thousands and thousands of dollars for it. I give it out for free. So like this video and subscribe. Join the movement for wholesaling real estate and go to freewholesaling.com and join my Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group. That is the largest mastermind in the country of like-minded wholesaling entrepreneurs who want to get connected absolutely for free and learn wholesaling real estate. Guys, I'll hope to see you there. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a blessed one.